these are bi-monthly or bi-weekly webinars that we'll have just to improve efficiency on certain tools on Procore. Today we're focusing on the Photos tool, which is you know, is a vital tool for your site management, project management. So between myself and Colin, we'll be doing it every 2 weeks. We sent out a list or an invitation, or Colin did during the week with topics. They're very flexible. If there's a specific topic that you'd really like to focus on, come back to Colin or myself, and we will change that, you know, and we'll set a topic up. So the idea is this: it's going to be quick productivity gain, hopefully. We won't be any longer 15 minutes. I'll go through 10 to 15 minutes. You can ask questions during it or afterwards, or any engagement, but it's just really just a quick demo. So yeah, we're recording this, and it's going to be on we're going to set up a Procore YouTube channel for Clancy's, so, and everyone will have access or visibility to it. So today we're going to just look at photos. So Colin probably would have, in his initial training, would have shown how you basically uploaded a photo using your mobile device. But there are better ways to manage your photos. So you can use, what I'm going to show today is how you can use a pin to a drawing, and it's better project management, it's better file management of photos. And down through the years, I've spent a lot of time looking for photos to validate variations, etc. So I'm just going to go into a job here. I'm going to show two observations. I'm not picking on any job in particular. All jobs are kind of quite like it, so I'm just going to go into South Infirmary as an example. I assume everyone can see my screen. When you go into photos, this is quite good. You know, it's not bad the way it's collected. So there's albums. Photos has been assigned to albums, but there's also a lot of photographs that are just dumped into the photo section, and these go into an unclassified folder. So for instance, you see here that there's 3,333 photos. And again, Willie, I'm not picking on South Infirmary, or if there's anyone there else from South Infirmary. This is right across all jobs. It's on Bandon Road, which is the job I'm on as well. So I'm just doing an example. So really, if I was to go in and search for a particular photo within them 3,333 photos, I'd be a long time trying to find them photos, the photos I want. So we can be a little bit more precise in how we do this. One way is to use folders, which has been done to a point on this job. And another way is to pin it to a drawing, and that's probably a more precise way to do it. So I'm going to show it on a mobile device, because that's likely how you want to do it. So hopefully technology will work for me now, and I can mirror my iPad to the screen. Yeah, so hopefully you can see my iPad there now. So I'm going to go into Procore. At the moment I'm in a test project, but you can apply this to your own project. So if I was to go into drawings instead of photos and I'm picking a random drawing. These are just random drawings that are put up on this test project. You'd obviously have a particular drawing that you might want to use yourself in your own specific project. So I'm just going to go in this one, first floor, finished 2 beds. Okay. So you might scroll in, and maybe you're in the isolation cubicle 1. Okay, showing here. Now, if I just touch the screen once, the markup tools will appear on the side, and down on the bottom there's a pin. If you press the pin once, it opens up another contextual menu, which is issues, observations, snags. We'll talk about them another day. But in this case, I'm going to just press photos, okay? So I'll press photos. And then when I use my fingers to place where I want to press the pin. So I'm going to press my finger in around the isolation cubicle. And it places a pin, and it gives you 3 options. So it says choose from Procore, choose from library, or take photo. So choose from Procore if there's a photo already uploaded, maybe in them unclassified albums or any album that you've already on Procore, you can pick it from there. You can choose from library, that's within the device itself. So if you use an iPad, iPhone, or take photo. So in most cases, people would use take photo, which is kind of on the go. So I'm just going to press that. I'm going to take a picture of my front garden, as beautiful as it is. And obviously I can mark that photo up to do whatever I need to do on it. Press save. And I can keep taking photographs if need to be, or I can press done. So that pin is there. So that should sync with your desktop or anyone that's been invited to the project. So again, I'll just go into this test project. I'll go into drawings. And I'll go, I think it's in here. And I'll go to, I think it was, yeah, I think it's this on here. So you can see there in the isolation cubicle, there's my photo from today marked up. So really handy way to store a photo. Really handy way to manage your photos. It's quite a quick way. And you can keep using that pin, that same pin. So you might ask, well, if I'm taking a photograph of the isolation cubicle for the duration of 3 or 4 months, I'm going to have a lot of pins there. But you can actually keep on using the same pin. You can, I'll go back into my iPad again. So if I click back into the iPad, go into isolation cubicle, and press on the isolation cubicle, or press on the pin again, it brings up this menu here. So if I press plus, it just adds photographs to that pin. So I can take a photograph. I'll take a picture of my wall. I'll press save and done. So it's adding pictures to that pin. And that's a universal change to the whole Procore system. So even if this drawing is revised, if it goes up 10 revisions, that pin will stay there, and then photographs will be located at that pin. So, you know, on my project that I'm on at the moment, I'm often asked to give a photographic update to the likes of the design team, Declan, clients, etc. And this is a good way of showing them updates. They can just go into the latest drawing. I just communicate to them the drawing that I have the pins. They go into the pins and they'll show the latest drawings or the latest photos. These drawings will also store in your photo section. So if you go into the photo sections on here, there will be a folder that will create called, can't remember the name of it, photos from drawings. Okay, so all your photos go in there as well. So, and it's a bi-directional link, so I can go into this photograph that I took earlier, and the drawing link is there, so I can actually click on the link and it'll bring me into that drawing where the pin is. So that's it really, lads. All I'm trying to do is to make you think outside the box rather than going in and just uploading photographs into the photo section and having thousands and thousands of photographs that at the end of the job are very hard to search for. I was on a project a couple of years ago in Facebook, and I spent 3 days in the Quantity QS's house searching for photographs to align with the variation claims. So just trying to make you think outside that box, you know. There's probably 3 levels here when you think about the photos tool. You can just dump them up into an unclassified folder, into the photo section. You can create albums, which is a good way too, but probably the next step up is just pin it to a drawing or pin it to a location. There is another way to do it using QR codes. I won't go into that at the moment, but that's the idea of it. So, and one other observation that we have, I went through most of the projects there earlier in the week, is that the photos, the upload of photos is generally left to one person. And you know, everyone that's on the system and everyone, it's unlimited licenses, everyone can upload photographs to the system. And it's just a good way of managing things. And it's the way it should be. I mean, we don't want a situation where people are putting their photographs or leaving their photographs on phones and devices or putting it on their personal Dropbox. If it's associated to your project, it should go up here in the story. So that's it really, unless you have any other questions or had any questions with me on it.
Can I ask a quick question?
Go ahead, yeah.
If I had a pin on the drawing for safety reasons, and then say Willie came along and he was taking a few photographs for quality in the same space, would
Yeah.
the same pin, or would there be 2 pins? Or
well, it depends if Willie wants to create a new pin or he wants to latch onto your pin, you know. Yeah, it can be both. Like you can put multiple pins on, and the filters can be used as well to take the, if the drawing gets a bit too noisy. So I'll go back into this drawing again that was on, which was can't remember where it was now. I don't think you can create multiple pins. What I'm trying to say, James, in the sense, if you want to have a pin for safety, you can have a pin for safety. If you want to have a pin for you know, just daily updates, you can do that as well. So I just wanted to go into, yeah, this one. This is the one I was in. So like there are pins that I was testing out earlier. I'm trying out here, and you might think it's a bit noisy there. So there is a way of turning off your pins, your layers. So you can turn it off the photos tool here. So if you don't like all them pins, or you can turn it back on. It's up to yourself. You can create another pin. You can create another pin alongside a pin that's already there. That's no problem. You can also create the pin on the desktop, but it probably would make sense to do that. That it'd be more likely that you would do using a device. So I can upload a file from my computer or select a photo from Procore. So I might just select this photograph, for instance. You can see now there's 2 pins. So it probably, if you're managing it, it probably makes sense just to keep it to 1 pin. How is that?
Brian, do you mind if I ask you, Garrett here?
Yeah.
Just in regards to the drawing, it's not affected by drawing revisions or anything like that, is it?
No, it carries over. So if I don't know, there's a couple of revisions there, so you can actually go back to P4. It should stay over onto P4, even though it's a non-current drawing. It doesn't go backwards, but it will go on the next drawing revision. Okay. Pins. It's like any markup you do. If you do any markup at all to a drawing, and revision P6 comes in, that markup will carry over.
Okay.
So,
Thanks.
yeah.
Can I ask a question there, Brian? And it kind of relates to James's question as well. Like James asked the question about, say, a safety incident or a safety item. Like, should the safety be putting them on drawings, or should they just make them as an observation?
Well, they should make it as an observation.
Like I suppose, like the drawings. The reason I'd like to see photographs and drawings is you're seeing the kind of the history of just say a particular room or a foundation or a roof or something like that. You know that you don't want to clog up a drawing with hundreds and hundreds of photographs.
Yeah.
Like, you know, in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong. Like safety.
No, you're correct, and that's the way it would be in the QMS procedure. That it would be an observation as such. But if James wanted to put that photo as part of the history of that room, he can do that. You know, there's no problem with that. I would suggest that you keep it to one pin to one room, and then people can add to that photograph for that history of that room. That is one way to. There is another way to do it with QR codes, which I'll show probably in a couple of weeks' time or at another webinar.
I suppose one of my concerns would be that if there was negative photographs associated with a pin, that it might end up in front of a client inadvertently by misstroke with the mouse or something.
Yeah, I have permission set that the clients don't see photographs, so they wouldn't see that pin.
So if I make a mistake, it's okay.
Yeah, but like you have to think about it too, James. If you don't want to put it up there, it's very sensitive. Don't put it up there, you know, yourself. Use an observation or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea of the pins really is to create that history of that room.
No, it would be useful for me because I'm often looking for true photographs as well 2 years after the event.
Yeah.
If there was a claim, maybe I might be looking for what was the condition of the room like on the day the guy claims that he fell or slipped or tripped or something, you know. So
sure,
that would be useful for me probably 2 years down the road.
Yeah.
When most of these things come to light, you know.
Yeah. All this is trying to do is just generate thinking outside the box. And you know, I didn't just pick South Infirmary. I can go into any job and I will find unclassified photographs really a lot, you know. So, for instance, going into Chrome again, I'm not picking on any project.
Keep picking on them, right?
What's that?
Keep picking on them.
Yeah, I go into photos, and there's one folder here, 1,400 drawings in just one folder. I mean, to find that drawing, I know it's done by timeline, but it's somewhat difficult. So, and sure, I was in your house, Gary, for fucking 2 days looking for photographs. Your house is lovely.
We got well paid for it, Brian.
Yeah.
You get the dinner, Brian.
Your house is lovely and all, but I didn't really want to stay 2 days in it.
You got croissants and everything, so you do, Brian.
Yeah.
I'd say that's all you got because he said we got well paid for it, Brian. He didn't say you got well paid for it.
Listen, it's like James said, you only need these photographs a year later, and that's what we were trying to find that time. So,
no, well, definitely I would see it as generating efficiencies 12 months, 2 years down the road, dealing with the stuff that you have to deal with at year end, and then probably later again when I have to deal with shite from time to time, which is anything between 2 and 4 years down the road. And you're looking for that nugget of information to get you out of a shithole, you know. Which
so again, just
maybe in a photograph.
To show you I'm not being preferential, this is Bandon Road, which is the project I'm on, and we still have unclassified means that you just put the photograph up onto the photo section and you haven't created a specific album or you haven't pinned it, and there's 1,815 photos. Difficult to search through that and find what you want unless you know there's a specific date.
Brian is very clean there. Are you doing any work there?
So yeah. So it's about gaining efficiencies. There is another way to do it with QR codes, but again, this is not the place or the day to look at it. But yeah, that's really all I wanted to show today. That's the idea. We want to keep it to 10 or 15 minutes. Hopefully you take away some sort of nugget from it of how to manage your photos a little bit more efficiency or more efficient, and you know, you can create that kind of productivity gain, as you say, maybe even 2 years down the road when you're trying to search for something.
And this will be available on YouTube, so as I can follow the keystrokes in my own time.
Yeah. Well, it'll be available on YouTube, and we're going to create a Procore Clancy YouTube channel. Colin will manage it, and of course Colin is there as well, and I'm there if you need any help on this as well. More so Colin than me, but yeah.
Good delegation, Brian, for you.
What's that, Barry?
That's good delegation for you there at the end.
Yeah. Managing resources, yeah.
You can delegate authority, but not responsibility. The responsibility will still rest with you.
Yeah. So, anyone else have any other queries, or do you understand the process, or do you want me to go through it? Anyone want me to go through it very quickly again? We are at 15:21, so I have 6 or 7 minutes, but other than that, people are going to dinner and making their barbecue. Again, any responses back? So I'll leave it at that then, lads. We'll have another one in 2 weeks' time.
Let us know when it's out on YouTube, and I'll go through the keystroke in my own time with the iPad.
Colin, you might stop that recording, and you might hang on there as well. Just everyone's left there.